Hey everyone, it's Thursday morning, January 30th, and welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Cela, here to break down yesterday's market action in just 2 minutes. Let's get started. Before we dive in, a quick note. Today's episode is sponsored by AMF Capital Asset Management Frankfurt. For tailored investment solutions and top-quality mutual funds, visit amf-capital.de. So, the stock market took a step back yesterday, with tech stocks leading the way down. The Nasdaq fell about 0.5%, giving up some of Tuesday's gains. The Standard & Poor's 500 was also down nearly 0.5%, while the Dow Jones slipped about 0.3%. So, what was the big event? The Federal Reserve kept interest rates unchanged in the range of 4.25 to 4.5%. But what really caught attention was the Fed removing a key phrase from its statement. In December, they had said they were making progress toward their 2% inflation target. That's gone now. Instead, they just said, inflation remains somewhat elevated. Fed Chair Jerome Powell tried to downplay the change, calling it just a language cleanup, not a signal of any major shift. Markets initially dipped, but then bounced off their lows after his comments. Meanwhile, Nvidia was under pressure again. The stock dropped more than 4% after a report suggested the Trump administration is considering new restrictions on its chip exports. Now, let's talk earnings. After the close, all eyes were on Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla. Here's how they did. Microsoft crushed expectations, reporting revenue of $69.6 billion, up 12% from last year. Net income jumped 10% to $24.1 billion. Meta also beat forecasts, with fourth quarter revenue soaring 21% to $48.4 billion. Tesla's results were also in, but investors were looking for a new catalyst to boost the stock. And one more thing, ASML, the Dutch chip equipment maker, reported a massive jump in orders. The company secured 7.09 billion euros in new bookings, nearly double what analysts expected. That helped ease concerns about AI chip demand, which had been shaken by China's DeepSeek. ASML's stock soared 11%. And of course, I'm very excited about that since ASML is a position I newly added to my fund a few months ago after their slower guidance release for 2025. Well, folks, that's your quick recap of yesterday's markets. Thanks for tuning in to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm Endrit Cela, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Cheerio!